cost of living in Huntsville, Alabama, and how it may compare to areas you may likely be moving from. Plus, what the heck is going on with the unemployment here in this area? We're going to be answering all those questions and more in today's video. Let's jump right on into it. If you're new to the channel, my name is Richard Graham, and me and my team here at Dean's List Realty, we help people just like yourself relocating from out of the area here to the Huntsville, North Alabama metro area, and we absolutely love it. So if you want to know everything about what it's like to work, eat, sleep, play, and live in the Huntsville, Madison, Athens, Decatur, and anywhere else in the North Alabama area, make sure to give this video a like. It helps the channel out a ton, getting this video in front of more people like yourselves who are relocating here. And subscribe to the channel and click that little bell icon because we upload a new video every single week. You do not want to miss out. And again, if you're making a move here to the area, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. However you want to get a hold of us, days, nights, weekends, whatever time, we are ready to help you find that perfect place to call home. So the first thing that we're going to be looking at, and I know for most households, the biggest part of your budget is going to be that housing expense, either by renting or by purchasing. Right now, I just saw some new stats from the National Association of Realtors, and the average American is well over 30% now of their household budget going towards housing. That's a big number and definitely up, and we see that. Now, how does Huntsville rank against the rest of the nation? Well, when you're looking at a national level, the average home price in the U.S. right now is $436,000 in that range, at least as of now in 2023, summer 2023. Compared to Huntsville, you are looking at a significant reduction in that living expense from the national level, as at a average sales price of about $385,000. And for that price point, there's a lot of new construction that you can get into here in the Huntsville metro area, so you can get into a brand new house for less than that in a lot of these areas. But yeah, you're going to definitely be seeing a win on Huntsville for the cost of living there as far as housing expenses go. Now, as far as renting goes, for those of you who are not looking at purchasing right away, when we look at the average rental price for a two-bedroom apartment in the U.S., it is right around $1,295 a month. And in Huntsville, according to Zoomper, you're looking at $1,017, and then I see other sites ranging up from there. And it all depends on what area. There's a lot of new apartments there in Huntsville too, and obviously a brand new apartment with big new amenities and all that is going to have a higher price. But I'm seeing that range from $1,000 all the way up to, according to apartments.com, $1,240 for two-bedroom apartment, and then up to $1,451 for three bedrooms. So, all right, so on to the second major line item I know for a lot of people is transportation. And with the lack of public transportation here in the Huntsville metro area, this is definitely going to be a bigger expense for you. I just checked a minute ago for gas prices. You're looking at, I think I saw Costco was like around $3.14. I see ranges in the area from about $3.10 to $3.30, some up to $3.50 a gallon. And this is right now in summer of 2023. So who knows where it will be at another year from now. But typically, you know, your stores like Sam's Club, your membership stores like Sam's Club and Costco are going to have a little bit better deal on their gas. And then if you shop at Kroger, I don't know if you have some in your area, but their little free membership card gives you 3 cents off a gallon, so that's some cost saving. And then the Waffle gas stations, they always seem they always seem to be a little bit cheaper than the rest, kind of from what I can tell when I drive by them. I don't know how they do it, but they always seem to be a little bit lower. But you know, you can definitely shop around there for gas, but you're looking right around ballparking around $3.10, $3.30 right now in the area. And then your maintenance. Now, if you're coming from a major city and you know how expensive maintenance on your vehicles are. I know for my parents from Virginia, DC area, and then from Hawaii, of course, there, maintenance costs on vehicles because they drove older vehicles was very expensive. Here, it's still going to cost some money, but it's nowhere near as expensive as those other more higher cost of living areas. So those kind of get factored under the miscellaneous sections when you look online at these cost of living calculators, but not as bad as some of these other areas you're coming from. If you're moving from like California or the West or East Coast, you're going to be pleasantly surprised by the cost of maintenance. what you would expect to pay for that bill on your car. Going on to your number 3 is going healthcare. I know this is going to be a big expense for a lot of people. And fortunately, Huntsville, we have the Huntsville hospital systems, which are ranked number 2 in the state. You have Birmingham Hospital, not that far away, which is a really big deal. And so your healthcare cost actually in this area ranks a little under what the national average tends to be. According to Rent Cafe, your healthcare is about 6% lower than national average for that cost. So that's a nice plus here in the area. And again, with those Huntsville hospitals are great. Fortunately, I have not had to have very much experience with the hospitals. Fingers crossed that continues. But we all know healthcare can be very expensive, so any savings there is a big plus. So number 4, and I had this recently, just reminded of it, but with our taxes here, we have some things are really good and things are really bad. So I was talking to someone looking at relocating from California, and there are some parts of the taxes here that are great, and then there's some that really will be shocking to you relocating from a different area. So the one that's the bad one is sales tax. You're looking at usually around 9% plus on your sales tax, and that's going to be all your purchases here. It's going to apply to your online commerce purchases as well. It sucks that 9%. It's very expensive, and you may be hearing that number, and that may be turning you off to this area entirely. The flip side of that is your property tax here is a lot lower. You're looking at kind of ballpark, the way they figure property taxes is this convoluted system, but kind of a rough ballpark estimate is 0.48% of the property value. So if you're looking, or the assessed value. So if you're looking at a $100,000 house, then 0.48% would be $480 a year in assessed taxes, which is the second lowest in the entire nation. So that is a definite big win for your cost of living here. I know for a lot of different states, like if you're looking at relocating from Texas here, your property taxes there in Texas is crazy. And a lot of people are getting priced out for that very reason. So you're seeing that advantage here in Alabama. Yes, you're paying more on what you consume, but you're not having to worry as much about your home increasing so much in value that you're getting priced out of even being able to live there. So property tax is second lowest in the nation. And what's even better is we have this homestead tax exemption that you can do. So if you live in that house, homestead doesn't mean you have to farm or anything like that. It just has to mean you claim it as your primary residence here in Alabama. And that effectively just about cuts your taxes in half for property taxes. It's up to a certain amount a year as to what it will deduct from your property taxes, but you can take that number and you're looking at it being roughly in half. And that is something to look at when you're purchasing here, and you look at those taxes. Is the house you're purchasing, was it homesteaded or was it not? And that just gives you, something kind of a little more nitty gritty, but anyway, you can potentially get those taxes lower. Then you have your income tax. Income tax, Alabama state income tax, ranges from 2 to 5%, so not too terrible there. Now, if you're over the age of 65, you get some additional cool tax benefits here in Alabama. For one, Alabama does not tax pension plans. So if you're receiving money from a public pension like the teacher's retirement system or from a private company pension, that income will not be taxed by the state. So that is a huge advantage for those of you who have that source of income. You may, another plus here, and that will factor into your cost of living. And then for your property taxes over the age of 65, you have some additional property tax deductions that you can have as well that can make things easier. So taxes, I'm going to say not too bad. That sales tax is going to get you, but property taxes really help make up for that. Now, as far as utilities go, I know this is another big one. It gets hot here in the summer. So your summer months, your July, August is going to be your hottest month for utility. And usually we're going to be seeing that highest electric bill. But on a national average, we're about 2% lower, which is good. Now, there is not, for those of you coming with a lot of electric vehicles, things like that, there is not as much electric charging stations. There's not a whole lot of solar in the area right now, so you're going to be primarily relying on electricity. Then you have natural gas. Something you may not know in the area, that Alabama does use nuclear power for some of its energy. So I know for some of y'all that may freak you out. So you can look online and see where those nuclear power plant stations are, and if that concerns you, you can purchase away from where those are. But yeah, that is just, I wanted to throw that in there because that's something that we didn't know moving here, and was kind of freaky at first, like, what? Alabama has nuclear power plants? That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, that's just part of the source of energy here. But your energy costs a little bit lower than national average, which is a plus. Now, if you're looking at having a swimming pool, then yes, those summer months are going to get expensive. And if you like having the AC set at like 68, you're going to be seeing those higher bills as well. One good thing though, especially if you're relocating from California, we don't often have right now those rolling blackouts or issues like that with the energy grid. While the area is growing a lot, we haven't seen the same kind of pressures that these other states are having. So that may be a big plus for you. All right, and so next up on the list is going to be childcare. So I know this isn't going to apply for everyone, but for those of you with young children needing childcare, good news, Alabama ranks number 2 for the cheapest childcare in the nation, just behind Mississippi. So that is going to be a big plus for your cost of living. Now in Huntsville, you're looking at Huntsville is the second most expensive. Well, Madison County is the second most expensive county on average for childcare here in Alabama. You're looking at, according to Alabama.com, about $173 per child per week. Now, I know if you, typically speaking, if you have more than one child, sometimes these daycares will give you a little bit of a discount on that second child if they're at the same time. Just something to look into. I don't have any kids in childcare systems, so I'm just basing this off of what I'm seeing here. But second lowest in the nation, you're looking at maybe around $700 a month for childcare per child. And then on the flip side of that, higher education. Maybe you're looking at picking up some more education for yourself. How do the higher education here rank? Well, you've got several community college, but I'm going to be focusing more on the University of Alabama, Huntsville, because that's one of the biggest ones here in the area. For your in-state tuition costs, you're looking at $11,878 for 2023 for your undergraduate programs, which is kind of crazy to me looking at how childcare, if you took that $700 a month times 12 months compared to what your college level cost of tuition is, how close those numbers are. Yeah, and so then your food costs, you're looking about 2% lower than the national average, so you're really close to what the national average for food is. But during the summer, there are tons of farmers markets. Just about every city in the area has farmers markets because there's so much land here in the area, and you can sometimes find some pretty good deals on your fresh produce, which is nice. We don't have to export everything here into the area. But it depends on where you're going to shop as well. If you're shopping at your Whole Foods, Publix, Sprouts, and some of these fancier, more artisan grocery stores, you're going to be spending a little bit more money than your Kroger's and Aldi's, places like that. So food costs, groceries can be right there, just below national average, a little bit of a plus. But what you need to do is find you some friends who have like some chickens or who grow vegetables, because if that's some of the best ways. Maybe you have coworkers who do that, because they will just like flood you with their produce during the summers. They have so much of abundance. It happens very often, which is just kind of a nice surprise. If you are looking at moving here and having your own garden, you may be able to enjoy the flip side of that, of having that abundance to be able to give away. But just different differences in the area. And rounding off the list for miscellaneous, all those other random expenses, according to Sperling's Best Places, they have miscellaneous categorized as restaurants, entertainment, service, repairs, and clothing, all those other kind of miscellaneous factors. They have it as a 71 out of 100 back in August of 2021. That's the most recent data I have from them. And as we know, everything's gone up a little bit, so take that with a little bit of a grain of salt, but you're still looking at cheaper than the national average, which means that overall you're looking at, from a lot of reports, Huntsville being anywhere from 8-10% cheaper than your national average for cost of living, which means your salary is just going to go that much further here. Now, going from there, how insulated is this area against economic upheaval? Well, that's one of the strongest things about Huntsville. And if you look, I kind of teased at the beginning, Huntsville is ranked number 7th on the list for the major metro city with the least unemployment in the nation. So this is nationally. Decatur has an even lower unemployment rate at 1.7%. So 2 of the top 10 cities in our metro cities in the U.S., Decatur and Huntsville, are on that list, which is really impressive. So, and because we see such a wide variety of employers, from governments and We have government, manufacturing that goes all globally, all these different companies. You have tons going on with space there in Huntsville and different companies supporting, all the space efforts. And then just many, many different industries. We have auto manufacturers. This area is very well insulated. They talk about, one of the jokes here in Huntsville is you can't throw a rock without hitting an engineer here in Huntsville, which is kind of humorous. I heard that from a sword fighting group there in Huntsville that had just a ton of engineers sword fighting, which is pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of fun things to do there in Huntsville. But yeah, as far as job growth and stability, we are seeing a lot of different industries propping up this area. You have a lot of government propping up this area. And so that is creating a very stable environment and a very desirable area. A lot of businesses are seeing that and relocating here, which may be why you're watching this as well. Now, as far as future job growth goes, according to Sperling's Best Places, and I'm not entirely sure how they're getting this info and data, where it's sourced from, but they're predicting, according to them, that Huntsville will grow by 40.9% over the next 10 years as far as future job growth goes. So again, I don't know how they're getting those numbers, but just something to look at is that this area is continuing to expand, continuing to grow, and that is going to help by getting in earlier in the process and being a part of a growing area. It helps in a good low cost of living area relative to the rest of the nation. Now, as time goes on, I would kind of expect that Huntsville would start to look like some of the rest of the nation as far as cost of living goes, as more and more people come in, as they discover this gem that's going to push prices back up. But for now, your cost of living is good. If you can lock in some home prices and now today, then that's going to help insulate you from what one of those biggest expenses is for most people, which is housing affordability, taking up so much of their budget. So again, if hope that you have found this helpful. Please don't forget to like this video. It helps others just like you relocating to the area. It gets in front of more people. And subscribe to the channel. And then if you are looking at moving here, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Again, my name is Richard, and our team here at Dean's List Realty, we understand relocation, and our goal is just help as many people like you moving into the area find that perfect place to call home. So, till next time, y'all take care.